Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 27 minutes. After the hour, we got the one and only attorney, Glennon Threatt, on with us this morning. Glennon, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey, and good morning to your radio audience.
Hey, man, thank you so much, Glennon, for coming on this morning. We were just having a conversation about crime and violence in our own community, and it's on the front page of CNN where it's been a crime spree, shooting sprees breaking out all over the country in our communities, from Chicago. Atlanta had an 8-year-old little girl that was killed. Little boy was shot and killed at the Galleria, while he was standing outside of a clothing store, with his mother or grandmother, from what I understand. And it's just been a lot of crimes and stuff, being committed with gunshot. Glennon, what's going on?
Well, Rickey, I was totally appalled. I've been practicing law for almost 35 years, and so it takes a lot to shock me. But when I heard about the shooting in Birmingham this weekend at the Galleria, imagine a crowded food court, 5 young men come in and get in a gunfight with another young man, and an 8-year-old boy is innocently killed with his family shopping for a July 4th outfit. The callous indifference and disregard for life that some people in our community are showing other than our community is just unheard of, Rickey. You had 77 people that were shot in Chicago over the July 4th weekend, including several young children. And then that 8-year-old girl in Atlanta that was shot in the middle of her forehead and killed. And as I said to you earlier this weekend, in the past there's been a conspiracy of silence among a lot of black leaders not to talk about this black-on-black violence. Rickey, we got to start talking about it, because this has got to stop. It is a devaluation of black lives, and these black lives matter in the same way that the black lives of people who are the victims of police violence matter as well.
Right. 8-year-old girl killed, 23 people hurt in Atlanta's violent 4th of July night as well. It's just crazy. A spate of shootings throughout the United States left more than 150 people wounded and nearly 24 dead. So far this weekend, including 67 gunshot victims, in Chicago, and that number went up. A blood-splattered weekend, according to reports, and then my daughter falls victim, gets in that number and gets shot last night. Glennon, I got to go to Houston. I don't know if
Rickey, I almost fell out of my chair this morning when I was prepping for the show and heard that happen to Erin. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. But Glennon, how do we address situations like that in our own community? Because, if you say anything, you get beat up for talking down to folks. And, what do we do? Where do we start? How do we fix it?
Well, Rickey, I always say there's no simple solution to complex problems. I mean, these violence comes from a lot of different sources, but I think the first thing we have to do is condemn it as a group and as a society of people. We cannot tolerate this sort of violence. We have to stop it. A lot of it happens with parenting, but many of these people, like this young man in the Birmingham shooting, we don't know that he was poorly parented. I don't have any explanation for why people would open fire in a crowded food court over probably some ridiculous little beef that really didn't matter to much at all, Rickey. So some of the solution is education. Some of it is condemnation by us as a people, and some of it is just going to have to result in just law enforcement. So to try and prevent these sort of events before they occur, as opposed to waiting for them to happen and then trying to arrest people.
Do you think that by them cutting off programs and giving the kids something to do, like who are committing crime? What's the demographic of people that's shooting? The shooters, are they in their 20s? Are they teenagers? Or like it's so hard to get to where the problem is coming from, Well,
I think what troubles me more, Rickey, than the demographic of the shooters is the demographic of the victims. I mean, we had 8 children under the age of 14 that were killed this weekend. And so people used to think that if you were shot in a violent incident, it is because you were involved in drugs or you were involved in doing something you weren't supposed to do. But now you can be a completely innocent person in the line at the Whataburger in Houston, in the food court in Birmingham, Alabama, outside a convenience store in Atlanta or Chicago, and a stray bullet because of a beat that you know nothing about and have nothing to do with can kill you completely innocently and end your life at the whim of somebody that has a total disregard for their community and the lives of others. And that's what frightens people, Ricky, that you can be completely innocent and be a victim of random violence.
But Glennon, can I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, let me ask you something. We said that we don't want to focus on the demographic of the shooter, but isn't there something that has to be considered about the mindset of so many young black men that feel like carrying a gun and taking out that gun in a public place, that where's the disconnect that they don't see where something is very, very wrong about that?
I think there is a cultural sociopathy, Kay, where these young men just don't care. I mean, they have no regard for their own lives, let alone the lives of others. Just think about what mentality you have to shoot in a food court in a mall.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, at some level, you have to know that that's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from, Special K, because these guys, in the Birmingham incident at least, you had 5 guys come into the mall as a group, and it's like they were hunting somebody down, and it didn't matter to them that there were, many people surrounding, because the bullet don't have no name on it. And so I don't know what causes these young men to have this mentality. And so you're right, the demographic of the shooter does matter. And I will tell you this, that putting people in jail hasn't solved the problem. I mean, we incarcerate more people per capita than any other country in the world, and we have more gun violence.
Yeah, but one thing I heard an old pastor say a long time ago, that charity starts at home. And one of the things that I see a lot of people becoming friends with their kids. And I want everybody to know and understand, especially all of you young parents that's in your 20s and 30s, that parenting is not a popularity contest. You have to be willing and risk being disliked in your own household in order to maintain discipline and structure and let them know that who's the boss. Because I don't care about getting along with somebody that don't pay for anything. You understand? I was going in on my kids, just the other night in a group text, and I said what I said. I meant what I said. Now, y'all can get in your own group text and say whatever you want to say about me, but at the end of the day, I'm the boss, and I pay the cost to be the boss, and that's just what it is. Now, if you want to have a separate conversation, we can and ask any questions about what I said or whatever, that's fine too, because they all adults now. The youngest one is 19. So, it's just that I see a lot of it. And you can see it by the way kids address their parents. I hear kids call their parents by their first name. Hey, Lisa, what time we leaving? You know what I'm saying? That would have never been. I'd have got hit in the mouth if I called my mama or my grandmama by her first name. By the way some of the kids dress. You got little boys, got not 1 but 2 earrings. Mama kissing them all in the mouth. And the maiden boys, your little boyfriend, got them a fresh haircut. Get the new Jordans every time. They come out and stuff, and then when they don't get what they want, then they'll turn around and they'll attack the mother. I've seen it with my own eyes, and we just gonna have to if you don't know how to parent, or you feel like you a little too lax with your kid, man, you need to go get around some old people, and we reestablish discipline and structure in the home, because that's where a lot of this stuff stems from. Charity starts at home. Glennon, let everybody know how you can be reached.
You can reach me on Twitter at @G3. Follow me and I'll follow you back. And everybody have a wonderful day, Ricky, and I'm going to be praying for Aaron.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, Glenn. Have a good day, man. We're going to be talking to Mark Morial about the state of Black America coming up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.